I'm going to show you how to integrate ChatGPT into your Word docs, sheets, and slides with Google. It's pretty cool. To get the add-on, all you got to do is click extensions and then go to get add-ons. And then if you search for GPT, it's going to be one of the top ones. So when you grab that, all you're going to do is click on extensions, go over to start, and you kind of just get going. And if you've used ChatGPT before, it's kind of a similar sort of scenario. So what you can do is ask it to do a couple different things for you. You can say create text, improve my text, add a stock image, or create an AI image. So you can tap into DALL-E. You can do a couple different things down here. There's a few settings. You can upload some things. It can take those into account. But ultimately, whatever output here, you can put that into the draft. So let's say I want to do something here. I want to make a checklist. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, make a checklist for booking, employee, travel, and flights, hotels, etc. for my company, aiagency.com. And so we're going to see what the output is. And if we like it, cool. If we get what we want, we're going to go ahead and just say, yep, go ahead and put that in there. Then we can go and we can use all of the Google Docs features that are built in. We can download this as a document, PDF, text, web page, whatever you want. You can grab that real quick. So let's say we look through here. We have this checklist. I'll show you what it looks like when we push this in here. So if we like that, we can just say insert, and then this will go in. We can also copy this. If we like this, it has everything kind of formatted. It has these little brackets right here so that it's literally just like a checklist. If there's anything about this that we wanted to change, we could do so. Now, if we wanted to improve any of the areas of this text, it makes it really easy. All you have to do is select, and let's say at the bottom here, we want to improve this text, change it. We can say, let's improve this text, and it automatically focuses on the selection that I've made. And I'm going to say, I want this to sound friendlier and also to, let's say friendlier. And we're going to say also to remind employees completing this checklist to send the travel plans to the traveling employee via email ASAP. So what we want is for it to adjust this according to how we want this to look. And we can read this, and if we like this, we can say insert. And what it did is it pushed it right below it, but we can always just delete that out. And there we go. Obviously, we want to format this for space. But perfect, right? And then if we ever need to do anything like formatting, change any of the styles, you can obviously do that too. The font, you have a little bit of control over that, but not too much. But then from here, you can go download that, get that in whatever format you need it. I could also do something like this where I say create an AI image, and then I can say create a AI generated logo. So I can say create a logo, my company, aiagency.com, have it be a small blue robot. So we're gonna get a logo, and then we're gonna take that and we're gonna push that right in there. Now we're gonna want a little bit of space to put it, and we're gonna wanna move it over here to like the right. We'll format it here in a second. Whenever it comes up, we're just gonna do it just like the text, click on it, and then we will insert it straight into, yeah, perfect. And it even put some letters right here. So boom, we're inserting that. It should take just a second. I think that it goes down to the bottom here. So what we're going to want to do is just kind of drag this up, or we can make it smaller. I think this is kind of just like a wordism. So just don't really worry about that too much. Perfect. So we got it up here at the top, and what we're going to do is we're just going to move it to where it doesn't care about the size or the relationship to the other text. And then from here, obviously we could do some nice things, like we could change the font. Maybe we'll make this do that. Maybe increase the font size. And maybe I would put this as more like a letterhead or something like that. Or just push it below, depending on what I want to do. Cool, so it's like really clean. It took us like 5 seconds. So obviously we made a fake company. We had a real logo. Boom, that would be too easy. We could also add a stock image by just saying add stock image, and then we could put the prompt in there. I'm actually fascinated to see if the stock image responds to our prompt, if it'll make like a custom one. I think that'll be interesting to see. We said we wanted a man flying an airplane, smiling and reading a book. It looks like we had a bunch of different types of stock images that didn't really fit it, so I'm not really sure about this feature. But regardless, if you ever were to find one that you liked, you could definitely do something with that. Now, when you're prompting this, if you click down in the chat settings, you can say, okay, we can use GPT 3.5 or 4. There's a temperature setting. This kind of allows you to just have more variation in what the output is. And then the default language, it gives you all these options to choose from. So this is very multilingual and it can fit into any sort of language that you need. This is also super valuable for translation, because you could just select text and say, translate all of this to Spanish or French or German. Okay, for Google Slides, it's exactly the same concept. You just have a couple of different options. So you have the ability to generate slides, edit slides, add stock images, or create AI images. And you also have the ability to use GPT-4 or GPT-3 with the same settings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide this prompt for generate slides. I'm going to say, I want you to make a 10-slide PowerPoint on how welding works and what sort of pay ranges graduates with basic certifications can hope to earn when they graduate standard welding programs across the country. So I'm interested to see what it provides, and I'm also looking for it to do some sort of maybe styling. We will see what it comes out with. Generally, whenever this happens, you want to set the style, the theme of the overall PowerPoint first, and then from there you can move on, so you don't have to spend a lot of time styling because you already have that basic theme. So for example, I just clicked this one real fast. Whenever the slides load, and if you do opt for the longer like set of slides, like, hey, generate me 10, generate me 5, generate me 15, it will take a minute. You'll have to wait a second for it to load. If anything messes up with the prompt, just change it. I had to modify mine to say 5 slides. I'm not sure if they just imposed a rate limit or whatever. I've had 10 come through fine before. But here I have the presentation. So you can see right now, like, we'll go through it real quick. So there's a basic slide on what is welding, types of welding, applications of welding, certifications, and then career opportunities in welding, right? And then it just gives a median annual wage, kind of with the same picture. And what we're going to do from here is we're going to see if we can change and modify and make some of this better. So to replace that redundant photo, what I did was I went and said create AI image, and my prompt was man making lots of money in his welding career. And then I'm just going to insert that into here, and then we're going to use that instead of that one photo that we already had. Okay, so, and this is kind of just a little bit funny that he's got money all over the table there, but I'm going to scooch this over, crop it, and then we're done. It's also funny that he doesn't have his welding protection on. I think that's hilarious. He's staring straight into the bead, which means he's not going to be welding for that much longer. That's pretty funny. And so with this slide right here, I'm going to try to do the edit slide, and I'm going to see if it will change the format of the slide to kind of be a little bit different in its content. We're going to see if that one works, and then we'll move on from here. When this prompt comes up, I'm going to see if I can do this again. Sometimes I've seen it ask this where it'll say, do you have the right to edit this document? And then generally it'll just shoo away the next time you try it. Cool, so I gave it the information in the slide, and it was like, okay, cool. Let's do this. I'm gonna Click here, delete that, and then insert this. And so one thing, I don't know if I would call it buggy or not, but where I clearly have this one selected, and I'm even going to go and I'm going to try to insert a text box to see if this will fix it right here. But I'm going to try to insert this into this text box. But what it does is it puts it in the bottom. It puts it where it's not supposed to be. So best I can really do is like click on this, copy this, and then paste this up here. But then I still have to go and delete it out of here. So that is one kind of buggy thing. So you're going to kind of want to be careful how you work with these because they may not be super consistent, and hopefully that gets better with time as they develop this. We're going to see how the add stock image works out this time. Hopefully it works out a little bit better with something easy like welder. And then, yes, it looks like we are going to get a possibly better image. We'll see how that works. And once again, it puts it in the bottom slide, so just watch out for that. But as soon as we get that up here, boom, we're looking good. Delete that out of the bottom. And pretty much an easy PowerPoint build. So if you need to do a quick little school presentation or something like that, pretty easy. You could just go right here, download, email it, share it, and then boom, you'd be done. Now for Google Sheets, before I go into that, I want to show you the examples. This is a template that shows some of what it can do. So for this one, the best way that I found to use it is to actually use the formulas. So this one you could say equals GPT table or equals GPT list. And then what that will do is it'll give you an auto-generated list related to whatever you're trying to work on. And instead of this just being like a typical formula that generally works with some sort of math or some sort of concatenation or something like that, what you can do is use GPT as the bridge between the data that you have right now. And like your prompt could be 10 tropical fruits, and you could say this cell equals list formula result equals this list right here of these 10 fruits. So you could do some very interesting things with the data that would be probably kind of unusual, and I could go over a few now. So with this one, I'm just going to say equals GPT list, and then right here in quotes, I'm just going to say famous world leaders, and then I'm just going to close it off and not really worry about the other values in the prompt. I'm just going to go right here, and then I could also go ahead and say world leader name. And then what I could do right here is I could say equals GPT list, and I'll say quote of famous person. And my goal here is to generate a famous Nelson Mandela quote. Now I might have to change this around a little bit, but you'll see what I'm getting towards. So what we're going to do is first concatenate the string a famous quote by with a space, and then I'm going to put A2, which is the world leader name. And then right here I'm going to say equals GPT, and then I'm going to say B2. And so that's actually going to be the prompt, right? So what it should generate is a famous quote by Nelson Mandela right here. And then I could do different things like that all the way down the string. And from there, we could go ahead and once these are all loaded, go ahead and format the text. So you can see GPT is making all of those, things generate. So I could also like do something similar. I could say like the home place of all these people, like where are they born, or like a interesting fact about them, or like their current age, and then GPT would spit it out. So it's like something that I couldn't do with a normal formula. I'll give you a couple more examples. And what I can also do, and I'll just show you this, is if I say equals GPT concat, I can actually do the phrase just right inside of where I actually combine the value of the cell and what I want to be the lineup for the prompt. So if I say equals GPT concat, and then I do A3, let's say concat what I'll do first, let me just make sure I put the string in here first. The age of, comma, Mahatma Gandhi, trick question, and then I'll end up with another quote for the proper formatting. Boom, done. And I can drop that all the way down, and it'll do all of these GPT queries all the way through to get all of these quotes. So we have all these world leaders, all when they were born, all the stuff in the table. So this is like really primo content that you could use to generate like a fake data set. So if you wanted to do anything like this, you totally could. Make sure I wrap that. Now the data types aren't very consistent, but it is super valuable because this is stuff that you can't do with normal like formulas in Excel or in this case Google Sheets. You can't really do it unless you have GPT. So this is like a perfect integration in to be able to do that. But that's just some of the cool features that I thought were worth using and showing you. Not sponsored by these guys, but here's who made this. You definitely go check us out. It was highly reviewed. Overall, I think it's super useful and probably one of the best AI products and something that I'm probably going to use all the time. If you like this video, go ahead and throw it a like. Drop a comment for anything that you're looking for to be shown, anything that you want to learn about. I'm always open to suggestions, and thank you so much for watching.